Come with me, won't you, as we take a magical trip down memory lane to one of the most amazing times in history, or as I like to call it, the 80s. Let me set the scene for you. It's the late 80s, school's out for the summer. You rush home from school, you run through the door, you kick your shoes off, grab yourself a snack, and park your little butt in front of the TV. You now have the entire summer to play the most amazing, fantastic, groundbreaking video game system known to man. No, I'm not talking about the NES. Get that shit out of here. I'm talking about the one and only Action Max. Now, some of you might be saying, Matt, I've never heard of an Action Max. And some of you might be saying, you made that up. There's no such video game system that ever existed called the Action Max. And to that I say, there is, and I know because I had one. I don't know where it came from, and I don't know how I got it, but at the age of 4 or 5, I remember playing it in my grandparents' living room, and the memory of that has stuck with me for the next 30 plus years. So a little bit of info on the Action Max. It was released in September of 1987, more than a year after Nintendo released the NES system in the United States. The Action Max looks like this unwanted love child of an Atari 2600 and a Nintendo Entertainment System. It's got Nintendo's color, but it's got the Atari's curves. It even has a light gun like the original Nintendo. The difference is this system doesn't use any type of cartridge or disc. It uses VHS tapes. Yeah, you heard that correctly. This is a VHS tape video game system. And you're probably wondering, how the hell do you play a video game on a VHS tape? Well, you do and you don't. Everything for the system would be done through the VCR. The system itself was basically there just to keep score for you. You would put the VHS tape in the VCR and play what is just essentially a pre-recorded movie. All of the games for the Action Max used the light gun and were shooting-based games along the lines of Duck Hunt, for example. Only this is an even more primitive version of that, despite the fact that it came out after the NES. The games would start out with this cool little intro video that would calibrate the light gun for you. It's the most 80s thing that ever 80'd in the 80s to 80. It's like a little short clip. Take a look.
Stand by for target practice. Fire at the center of the flashing target. A steady aim is critical. To calibrate your game pistol, adjust the distance control on your base unit. Turn it toward minus if you're close to the screen, or toward plus if you're further away. The score signal will light when you hit a target, and points will be added to your score on the base unit. Now, reset your score by turning the power switch off and on again on your base unit. Prepare for action.
After the calibration section, the movies would play, and whatever it is you were supposed to shoot would have a big white circle on it, and you would just aim the gun, pull the trigger, shoot the white circles as much as you could, and the console was basically there just to register the hits and keep score. There was absolutely no way to lose. Every game being a pre-recorded movie meant you got the same experience every time you played. There was a little red light that would suction cup onto the front of the TV, and it would light up every time you registered a hit, and that was basically it. The only replay value these games had was just to see if you could beat your previous score. That is, if you remembered to write it down. I'm going to take a wild shot in the dark and say that we got this thing at a garage sale because I only had one game, and it's the game that is currently playing on the screen for you now, and that game is called The Rescue of Pops Ghostly. This was the creepiest thing in the world when I was little, and it may explain why I have a love for horror movies and horror video games, because this has been a core memory in my brain from the time I was a single-digit little person till now as a 40-year-old man. The ghosts and the creatures were created the same way that they created the ghosts in movies like Ghostbusters and stuff like that, with these different puppets and optical compositing techniques that they used for that. And I just remember playing this game and being creeped the hell out, because, I mean, some of this stuff is just like pure nightmare fuel, especially for like a 5-year-old kid. I mean, just look at some of this shit. What the fuck? And there we have it, my friends, our little trip in the Wayback Machine to remember a video game system that we all forgot. Oh, who am I kidding? None of you probably ever heard of this damn thing, but I appreciate you coming along on the ride with me. I'm going to leave it playing in the background a little bit, because if I had to be horrified and tormented with this stuff growing up, you do now as well. Thank you guys for stopping by. I appreciate all the support that I've been getting over the last couple months. If you liked the video, hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. The numbers are growing at a decent pace, but we'd like to boost it up a little more. Again, this is Matt, just a guy. Call me whatever you want. Just don't call me late for dinner. God, I'm old. Thanks for stopping by, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.